Greetings, the Astro 30 here yet again, and welcome back to AEL. Thank you for joining me. Now, in front of us here, I've got this 7915 voltage regulator, which I was having problems with in the previous video and thought the device was actually damaged. Well, it turns out it's not, because I forgot one little rule with these particular negative voltage regulators, is that they require a small load current all the time on them, about 10 mA, something like that, for them to regulate correctly. And I can prove that in a simple demonstration in a minute. Ignore all these components up here, they do nothing. So I'll hook this up to the power supply and a multimeter, and we'll go through the tests again and show you what it's doing. And then I will load the output with a small resistor, 1K will do, which will give us at 15 volts 15 mA, and we'll see the difference. So let me get set up to doing that. Alright, so I've got the simple little test circuit up here. I've got my negative voltage from the power supply coming into pin 2, which is the tab here. And I've got the positive side of the power supply, which this is a negative regulator, which would make sense, going to pin 1, which is ground. And pin 3 is the output. On voltage DC, I'm going to change my power supply to about 20 volts, 100 mA current limited. So I'll turn the supply on, and we've got minus 15.5 volts. That seems fine and fair enough. So let me change the voltage to 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and there we go, it's starting to rise, and by 26 we've got that weird 17 minus volts that we had before. So if I carefully go between ground, I might turn the power supply off for this, go between ground and the output with this 1K resistor, so between pins 1 and 3, if I can so get that in there without shorting on things. Excellent. So the 1K resistor is now in. Power supply is still set to 26 volts. Turn the supply on. Minus 15.5 volts. And the power supply is saying we're drawing about 13 mA, which is approximately right. So let's do a sanity check here. That seems fine. So if I increase the output voltage even further, up to 27, remains stable, 28, stable, 29, stable, 30, stable, 31, stable. So we'll go back down to 20, still the same, 19, it's starting to drop off a little, 18 drops up a little bit more, but we're coming very close to our 15 volt output voltage rather. We're at 17 volts now, that's 2 volts difference. The regulator is going to start dropping out. So if I go down to 16, then 15, as we can see the regulator is now starting to drop out, 14, etc. Okay, so back up to 20 volts, and we're back to our minus 15.5. Excellent. So that solves that mystery. And it was only because I forgot about that. But there's one more thing we need to talk about with both the 7.8 series and the 7.9 series of regulators, and that's one of dissipation. So what do I mean about dissipation? Well, I mean basically how much heat the device is going to get rid of. So I'm going to use the 7815 regulator as an example. So we've got our input voltage here, and we've got our output voltage there. This is 7815, and we've got a ground. Let's say our input voltage is 30 volts, okay, and we've got a small load connected here, shown as a resistor, and we'll say the load current is, for this example, 100 mA. Seems reasonable. These devices can go up to 1 amp, no problem. So we've got 15 volt out here. Okay, so the problem is, even though the maximum voltage that you can put on the input of these devices here is 35 volts, we've got to remember that the regulator has to drop that voltage by its output voltage, in this case 15, and then you have to then multiply what the resultant figure is by the load current to work out the dissipation. So in this case we've got 30 in, 15 out. That regulator is going to be dropping 15 volt. Okay, so then to work out the power, well, that's P in watts equals voltage multiplied by current. So we're going to multiply the voltage drop that the regulator is dropping, so in this case 15 multiplied by 0.1, which is 100 mA. That's going to equal a total power dissipation of 1.5 watts. Now that's a problem. That's starting to now exceed the physical limitations of the device, and that's going to generate an excessive amount of heat on the device, which would require excessively large heat sinking, such as a power amplifier heatsink size type thing, which is sometimes not really practical. And the 7805 is even worse. So if we have like a 7805 30 volt, same input, we've now got 5 volts. So now the regulator is trying to drop 25 volts. So that's 25 multiplied by the same current, 0.1. That's 2.5 watts of dissipation. That's getting very, very disastrous for the regulator. So someone was telling me a story the other day about how this so-called engineer or hobbyist or whatever built this MCU controlled digital device thing that drew around about 500 mA running off of a single 7805. So we'll take the worst case scenario that the voltage regulator is trying to drop 25 volts, and we multiply that by half an amp. That's 12.5 watts. And he wondered why the IC didn't last very long. Yeah, well, that far exceeds the design limitations of that device. How do we actually avoid this situation without having to use like a seriously large heatsink? Well, we can change input to output differential. So a better approach would be for, say, a 5 volt regulator. We want to keep our input voltage only about 5 volts higher than the output voltage, maybe 4. So for instance, for a 5 volt regulator, you'd really want 10 volt in. So that means the regulator now is only dropping 5 volts multiplied by our original 100 mA, which equals half a watt, which is a little bit more healthier for the device. You'd want to keep it around about probably 3 volts higher than your regulated output, so especially the 7/8 series, unless it's a low dropout, doesn't drop out early. So this brings me back to our original circuit, which produced 15 volts. Well, technically speaking, we would only want probably a maximum of 18 volts here at the input. So we've only got like a 3 volt differential, so the regulator is only dropping 3 volts. So with that in mind, 3 volts multiplied by our output current equals 0.3 watts. Well within the safety margin. This also applies to the LM317 and the 337 respectively, even though they have a 40 volt input to output differential that you can't exceed. But again, it's all about dissipation. So if you're wanting to try and draw 1 amp out of one of these, well, you can't. You really should put in a series pass element so that the transistor itself handles the current, whilst this is only dropping the voltage. So I hope this video was helpful and interesting to someone, and it's also a good note that on the 7.9 series there's a trap that you've got to remember when you're measuring unloaded, that you will get weird measurements unless you put a small load across its output, because it needs at least 5 to 10 mA of current drawn on its output to regulate correctly, as I just demonstrated. So that proves that that particular regulator that I took off that PCB works fine. It can go back on the PCB. But I just wanted to cover this little bit of information just to remember that, yeah, dissipation matters, and if you want the longevity of this device, then you really have to consider your input voltage versus your output to keep this device within specs, depending on what current you're drawing, or just simply limit the amount of current that you can draw off the output. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Catch you next time. I'm the Astro 30, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to go down below, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, this is the Astro 30 saying see ya, thanks for watching, have a great day.